Hey there, and welcome to today's daily premium newsletter for March 29th. So the death cross has become a self-fulfilling prophecy. We have broken the 276 billion total market cap bottom to reach a new all-time low for 2018. Q1 2018 is certainly going out with the opposite of a bang, as we've had nearly 3 months of painful days with only minor gains here and there. Remember, we believe days like today are necessary to get us back on our feet. Crypto is not going to turn around until the volume comes back, the interest returns, and we have bullish sentiment again. As we're finishing off March and Q1, let's discuss some of the trends we're seeing heading into Q2. First off, we don't believe this bear market is due to last. While it was caused by unchecked euphoria, nothing fundamental regarding the viability of crypto itself has changed. In fact, we've been able to collectively calm down and refocus on the actual impact and use cases. Many of the ICOs that were started in 2017 have already failed, which helps to separate the scams and half-baked ideas from the actual change agents in the space. One of the biggest moving trends external to the space has been the movements of governments. The rhetoric we're seeing a lot of from sovereign nations is that there's an appreciation for the new technology and exploring the different possibilities, but at the same time there needs to be consumer protections in place. What has become evident over and over is that no country is willing to outright ban distributed ledger technology. Rather, they're more intent on controlling exchanges and ICOs they determine are defrauding and scamming individuals. Internal to crypto, there's been a push for more legitimate business practices by the exchanges that tie the crypto community together. Where this is most apparent is the leaders in the space, namely Binance, Bitfinex, and Coinbase. Binance has clearly made consumer perception and experience their top priority, showing several times that they care about being communicative and doing the right thing. Bitfinex, on the other hand, has sent panic throughout the community as their Tether token has the very real possibility of upsetting the entire house of cards should it prove to be insolvent. Lastly, Coinbase has raked in piles of money but continues to erode the good faith of their users by misplacing their trust. Coinbase is currently at the center of several lawsuits against them, but it's still seen as one of the most influential players in crypto. Companies like Binance, Circle, and Robinhood are hot on their heels and will soon offer equivalent or superior services to Coinbase. Lastly, we think there's been a general shift in public perception. To be fair, it will take years to convince everyone, especially the laggards, that crypto is here to stay. But every time that crypto comes back, it comes back stronger. And soon we will not be ignored by the general masses. Anyone crying out that crypto is dead is completely missing the bigger picture. Plus, that's been going on for almost a decade now. We're about to enter the 10th year of blockchain's existence, and in that time it's grown exponentially. We're eager to see how the space and technology progresses in the next 10 years. And so with that, we're going to be taking this weekend off as it's a US holiday. So I'll talk to you again on Monday. And now I'll turn it over to Doc.
Good evening, it's Doc for ReadySetCrypto. As I record this, there's about 2.5 hours left before UTC rolls over to Friday. And right now we're seeing a little bit of a bloodbath in crypto right now. We have Bitcoin is down about 10% in a day. I mean, this is titanic volatility based on any other asset that we trade. Is just to see a 10% move in the space of a day normally would be the death of most assets in most markets, but yet it's just another day in crypto. Now, the one thing that you're going to hear a lot about today and over this weekend is the death cross. And I've been talking a little bit about it here with the red line is the 50-day simple moving average. The green line is the 200-day simple moving average. And the death cross occurs when you have the red line crossing under the green line, as it's about to do, and all the reporting is out there as if it's already a done deal. It's not a done deal, and quite honestly, I've seen this thing in different markets going through these things through the years, and sometimes we get into periods where the death cross really does save your bacon if you go into cash during the death cross. And there's other times where it's statistically insignificant. And you can also get into periods like this, like any other moving average crossover strategy. When you walk into sideways markets, you're going to get all kinds of false signals. So this one was from about 4 years ago. So about 4 years ago, we had another death cross show up. And then that quickly ran into a golden cross, and everybody just assumed that it was, oh, it's all over with. And then it crossed again to the downside, and then this is what happens with moving average strategies, is that the bear continued all the way into 2015 before it finally resolved itself. Now, this is what a disbelief rally looks like. So I've been talking about this for quite some time, is that, and frankly, probably most people are tired of me talking about the bear market saying, oh, we have lots of pain left to go. Guys, it's not me wanting that. It's just that I've been through bear markets before, and literally it's got to get to the point where the sentiment feels so bad that there really is no positive case that you can make for the asset going forward. Again, that's a very emotional reaction that people have. They don't think through it. And so typically people toss their cookies right near the bottom of a move when they give up. And this is an example of something like this occurring, where you just see them just ralphing right out. Out goes the positions. Here comes another one. Oh, that's it. I can't take it any longer, as people sell down. In this case, what would you give to be able to get Bitcoin for $220 a coin? And then what happens is, after that, all of a sudden people say, wait a minute, this is where the FOMO comes in. People chase after the move. And then it's all over. There's the golden cross. There's the volume. All of a sudden, everything is healed again. And this will happen again. This will happen again to our market here with Bitcoin. We will see something like this happen only after everybody basically gives up and says, well, forget it. I've lost my money. I don't want to follow this anymore. This makes no sense. So that's just kind of the nature of the beast. Now, so keep in mind, that's the death cross. The death cross is close. Keep in mind now, we have a trend line that's in play here that's gone through 1, 2, 3 touches, at least 3 touches here. And here's number 4. So let's kind of zoom in on this. So one of the things I like about this charting package is that if you go in on time frame, it actually keeps all the trend lines in there. So if we zoom into like a 30-minute chart, we can see here that you can just see that trend line down there. And let me see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. Okay, so I had to play around with this for a little bit, but I finally got it working. And you can see how this trend line's come into play here. We're starting to get some volume as we are starting to touch that trend line. Now, something else that I can bring over here is, I can bring my GDAX account over here. So let's look at GDAX, and this is where we start to see the actual battle that's occurring here. We can start to see some of the bids and offers occurring at this level. So you can see, this is called the depth of market. So you can see all the orders that are coming through here. For whatever reason, this thing has just stopped moving. So let's see if we can refresh this. There we go. Okay, so it stopped moving. And what I thought was interesting was that there was a big step that kicked in right along that level, like right around the place where that price level, that trend line where it was bouncing at. So it's interesting to watch the supply and demand dynamics through a tool like this, which actually most brokers have. So you can see the prices come down to there, a little bit of volume, bounce off of there. Who knows, maybe this could be the beginning of the next leg up. Watch that carefully to see if there's any demand that comes in right around that level, and who knows, we might bounce at that level, but we're going to need some massive volume to spark the buying again. Meanwhile, it's not necessarily a bad thing, so let's go back to the chart. Again, it's not necessarily a bad thing to see an undercut here. That type of capitulation based on enormous volume. We need enormous volume to trace out a bottom down here. And right now, we're just not getting it yet. We're just not getting it yet. So let's reset this chart, and there we go. All right, so we're getting, nice big red candle. That's what I like to see. I like to see the price coming down to this level. Want to see really a great big reversal. I want to see a candlestick that looks like this. I want to see something that ends up with a small real body, big movement down there, big reversal. That could be the beginning of something. Quite honestly, folks, though, my sense is right now that there's too many people hoping for a bounce, and markets that are in bears like this typically don't reverse until everybody gives up. Now, I know that you and I are not going to give up on this. We're going to stay solid with this, and we're going to be in great position to set up a bunch of swing trades in the short term, and we're going to be there to secure the bottom as this thing goes forward. All right, folks, that is it for today's report. Again, we're not going to be putting out an edition on Saturday because of the Good Friday and the holiday and everything. So we'll stay tight with you guys over the weekend, and we'll be back here with the next report on Monday. You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you then.